like to switch off, we can go back and forth. This, I think, is an important piece to do before ending my set. Sometimes we have this mistaken notion that solidarity or fighting against injustice stops on ethnic lines. And then you'll start to see homophobia and sexism and patriarchy and sexual violence and rape on college campuses that are kind of swept under the rug. And it is so important and essential to say, especially a guy in a hyper-privileged position, that we can't be standing in solidarity and fighting against oppression overseas if we are reaffirming structures of oppression at home. And there's a brilliant poet named Carlos Andres Gomez who came out with a book called Man Up. And for that, he did a series called Man Up Moments, and it was about challenging masculinity inside of the United States. And I did a piece for the project which dealt with sexism and sexual violence. And just a big preface, there are a lot of trigger words in this poem. There's a lot of very descriptive language on sexual violence and rape. So in case anybody, for whatever reason, isn't comfortable with it and wants to step out of the room or doesn't want me to do the piece, that is an option as well. And this is about a conversation. It's much more of a mainstream conversation to me and people that I've met. And I work a lot within the leftist community, and sometimes we think that that is kind of separate, or that leftists or people among the left can be immune to this. And this is something that affects societies globally and communities globally. And as a guy, I think it's really important to stand up and challenge it. There's this kind of feeling that if you aren't raping somebody, you somehow aren't oppressing them. And on micro levels, when we see sexism and patriarchy and forms of sexual violence, especially as guys, we have to challenge that. So this isn't to occupy anybody else's space or tell anybody else's story. And there's a lot of mainstream examples in the piece. So again, there's a lot of trigger words, and there's a lot of really descriptive language. And if for any reason somebody wants to step out or doesn't want me to do the piece, that is an option as well. Is everybody cool with me doing it? Okay. And I was doing a Q&A last month, I think, somewhere on the West Coast, and somebody asked a question about sexual violence in New Delhi. And they're like, how can we stand against rape in New Delhi? And the person was trying to be as honest as possible, but it was with this kind of idea that sexual violence didn't exist within his own community, and that he shouldn't be challenging it there. And we sometimes think that it's, oh, you know, it's the brown people and it's over there, or when we think of oppression, we don't think about how reservations are treated inside of the United States, or people of color, or the poor, and we like to think of oppression as some kind of disconnected reality. But those intersectionalities matter, and drawing parallels, and building solidarity, real solidarity is important. So this is called An Open Letter to Too Many Men. A woman shouldn't have to say no. Map out autonomy. Life should be a given, consent created, protection shouldn't be necessary. Women are not objects, but are often manipulated, broken, and abused like they are. Skirt short. Smile sexy. Lipstick perfect. Until insides are torn up, a fingernail snapped off on the dresser, right cheekbone cracked, neck lacerated, and face contorted. Readers are still conditioned to ask if a raped woman provoked it. Juries want to see inside her underwear drawer. We judge women in terms of promiscuity, appearance, look, gesture, innocuous green lights as lips, mouths, whispers, cries, alcohol levels. Say no. We break women, pull their hair out, knead into their tendons, fracture their jawbone without even lifting a finger. We dust off the dresser, booze up the rapist, and tear the tissue in her inner thighs. We are the gateway. Every time we let the word slut roll off our tongue like melodies. Men are raised as champions, taught to be proud of. What we curse at women from birth. Women are hunted like game birds. Drunk frat boys push up on young girls in bathroom stalls, and we act like we don't know where it came from, called women. So addicted to substance, crack whores, but never question a man's indulging penis when he pulls out of one of those broken brothels. She was asking for a fight. What did she expect with that skirt? I don't condone rape, but you play the part. Lifeless body, teenage girl, just got to college, didn't sign up for roofies, raped, date raped, kinda raped. She drank so much, what did she expect? Rape? No means no, but maybes pervade society through patriarchy, culture, magazines, blaming the victim, not believing the victim. She came forward, but we have questions for the victim. Lives in a world of maybe. It's easier to turn away than to take a stance. No means no. That extends beyond your mother or sister. No means no. When you not understand the words that she's saying, a woman's body is a woman's body. No means no. There's nothing maybe about rape.